Hello everybody, I am Jedi Jack Penguin and welcome back to another LEGO Star Wars review. So today I'm really excited to be taking a look at number 75337, the ATTE Walker. This set includes 1,082 pieces, retailing for $139.99 after that $10 price increase when it released August 1st of 2022 in Europe. Now, this set was unfortunately delayed in North America due to not a shipping problem, but because they forgot to put in either a bag or maybe a few pieces in a bag within this particular set. So today is August 15th, 2022 when I'm recording my opening. I just picked this up at my local Target. They only had 3 at the store, and this is one of the 3 that they had, meaning that they only have 2 left for the lucky people who end up to stumble upon it. Now, I have no doubt in my mind that this set, like the 501st Battle Pack that released back in 2020, will be very popular and hard to find in the beginning of its lifespan. If you guys are looking for one, I do have the UPC, DPCI, and SKUs up on my website, link in the description below. Now, getting right into the box art, I do have one minor gripe with this set. As you can see from the back, we are on Utapau, which is from Revenge of the Sith, but we happen to get this box art, which is the Clone Wars style box art, which I'm not really too fussy about them doing this, mainly because I think a lot of people would be even more annoyed if they just stuck Darth Vader in the corner of this box art. Though other than that, it is kind of a slap in the face considering this year is the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones, and usually we see ATTEs and Republic gunships based off Attack of the Clones, though this is the first one that we're actually ever getting that is based off Revenge of the Sith, which it is a little disappointing that we didn't get a Playscale Republic gunship to go along with this, but I already have a few of those in my collection, and I already have a few ATTEs, and I'm really excited to compare this towards the end of the video to the other ATTEs that I own within my collection, and even put this next to a Republic gunship just to see the scale that we're dealing with. I'd really hope that next year we'd see a Playscale Republic gunship to go along with this, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. Flipping to the back of the box, you can take a look at the back of the build, as well as your minifigures interacting and fighting each other. Thankfully, we don't get push tabs on this, and we have tape. So yeah, that's all that I have to say for the box, so let's open this up and take a look at what's inside. Included in the box, you get a total of 6 numbered bags 3 through 6 each featuring 2, in addition to your stickers and instruction manual, which are featured in this plastic bag. Included on the sticker sheet, you have that light gray, dark gray color pattern that you're going to see for the vehicle, in addition to your Republic logos. The instructions feature the same ugly style that you're going to see for the rest of the Summer Wave. Get more of a booklet for this particular one, better than getting a bunch of small instruction manuals. From the back you get your Win robot. Flip open to 2 pages of piece count there, leading on to another additional page, and our advertisements for the rest of the Summer Wave. You guys can check out reviews for these 2 sets up on the top. Not sure if the Inquisitor's Scythe will be out as of yet, I don't know. As for the rest of these sets, I don't really care for them other than I guess the Justifier I want, but it's too expensive. To start off our minifigure selection, we have a minifigure that many people have been demanding for quite some time, that being Phase 2 Commander Cody. Now, we've gotten Commander Cody in the past, back in the Republic gunship, and then in 2012 within the Geonosian Starfighter, so this is the first time that we're actually getting a Phase 2 version outside of the buildable figures, which is kinda odd that we got it there first. But anyways, looking at the overall design of this figure, you get brand new prints for the legs, torso, even the facial expression and helmet there. I really like how this figure turned out, though there are a few problems, which you'll also see on the other minifigures within this set. Now, he does come with one accessory, being this small gun, which is nice to see. We also get the leg printing leading all the way down to the feet there, and this is a different print compared to the one that you'll see on the other two 12th troopers. The torso print, this does follow the same exact style that we've been seeing for quite some time for the clones, mixing the Revenge of the Sith and Clone Wars style of the torso, which I honestly don't really mind, even though a lot of people don't like it because it's inaccurate. We get the plain orange arms just to make this figure look a little bit more special than the regular two 12th troopers, which I also don't mind because we did see the same exact use back in the day for the Phase 1 version of Commander Cody, though I would have thought that with this figure being in an expensive set that they would have went all out and maybe included some dual molded arms, or maybe even some exclusive printing to make this figure just stand out a little bit more. Spinning around to the back printing, we have something that I didn't even really know about Commander Cody, and that's the fact that he has a jetpack, which is printed on the back of his torso, which is totally fine. That's not something that I think we needed a mold for. We have the facial expression underneath the helmet. Now, this was the biggest surprise to me, that LEGO didn't just reuse the same facial expression that we saw with all the other clones. We actually get something exclusive for Commander Cody where you can see these extra little markings, and he also has a more angry face compared to the other clone faces that we got in the past there, which are just plain blank stares. And to finish this figure off, we probably have the thing that I have the most complaints about within this set when it comes to our minifigure selection, and that is the helmet. Now, we get a brand new and exclusive print here, but we also happen to get a brand new mold for this set when it comes to the Phase 2 clone helmets. Now, you may remember in the past that these did not have holes to include accessories, but now we actually have holes to include accessories, but they're not in the right spot. They're just a little bit above little hole there that you're supposed to actually put accessories in. I wonder if they're going to make this helmet again, but include the hole in the proper spot. I only say that because the rangefinder thing is supposed to go right here. I think this mask coming out soon does a great job showing where these particular accessories are supposed to clamp on. I also wonder if they will make a new mold where we include both the rangefinder and the visor from the front, but I don't even think that's really necessary for some of the characters that are coming out. I know that next year in 2023 we may even see a brand new accessory pack to go along with these helmets when it comes to the 501st Battle Pack 2.0 or whatever you want to call it. But as I said, this is really the only thing that bothers me when it comes to the helmet, just how this works, and also when you bring it up there's that little gap, which is annoying. I'm gonna remove this. It is the first time that we're getting it in orange though, which is neat. I bet it looks nice also on the one from 2008. But plopping in that other accessory that we get, the rangefinder piece, you can just plop that in the hole very nice and easily. I'm just gonna bring them back so you can take a better look, as blurry as that's going to be, just to see what this figure looks like with the rangefinder. You can also bring that down. That piece really feels like it wants to fall off, and it doesn't really feel right where it's placed. It's unfortunate that LEGO didn't really plan this out correctly to make this work the way that it should have. Again, I applaud LEGO on all of these brand new prints for this character and even giving us new colors for these accessories, but why even bother when, you know, you're gonna place the hole in the wrong spot? I just wish that it was where it was supposed to be, even though it probably still wouldn't look as good there. And also they did place that hole there only because these older accessories would fit in that particular spot. For Commander Cody, we should have just gotten a brand new mold for the helmet piece, and you know, as you'll see with the rest of the characters in this set, they do all suffer with that hole, which just looks ugly when there's no accessories put in it, and these other figures don't need accessories placed in their helmets, which they should have just had the older mold. I don't know what happened there. They still have the older mold because they're still producing it within the Republic fighter tank set, so it's just really confusing and annoying to me that this problem exists, and you know, they should have just had someone to figure this all out. And you know, again, it's just my only complaint about this set really when it comes to the figures, just the helmets have such a terrible problem. For those who like to army build, this is definitely the set for you because we get 3 of those 212 clone troopers included in this set to go along with Commander Cody, and I think they turned out alright. Again, the only problem that I have with these comes with the helmet having these holes, which just look plain old ugly on these figures. They should have just reused the older helmet mold, but you know, I think they still look fine if you just look at them from the front like you're supposed to. Another small problem when it comes to the helmet is when it comes to the printing from the very top there. That orange just doesn't look as good as it probably should have. When you look at the ones that we got back in the day, they had a lot better printing for the top of the helmet, but these ones, they just, I don't know what happened. I guess it got shifted down or something. I don't know. But anyways, we get that same mix for the torso there when it comes to the Revenge of the Sith and Clone Wars style. We get some printing on the legs. I love that they go all out with the toe printing leading all the way up to the belt piece, up to the main torso there. Plain white arms, black hands, and you get the printing from the back, which looks nice. And you get that same old facial expression that we've been getting since the 501st Battle Pack, with that darker flesh tone color. For the clones, the helmet is the only thing that I really have any complaints with here, and we also happen to get this gun, which features the candle piece at the very end. You get 2 of these clones with that gun, and 1 of them with the regular gun. To finish off our clone lineup, we have a clone gunner, which we last saw Phase 2 clone gunner back in the 2017 Republic fighter tank, so it's nice to see it pop up again. Of course, we get some exclusive prints for the torso with that Clone Wars Revenge of the Sith mix for the front of it. Legs, I believe, are the same ones that we've been getting since the minifigure pack earlier on in the year. Small gun for the accessory, and you get that ugly hole from the side of the helmet, which there's really nothing you can do about it. You get the back printing, which looks nice with that strap, and the same exact facial expression that we got for all the other regular clones within the set, with the blank stare. Continuing the army building vibe, we also get 3 of these battle droids, which are the same exact ones that we've been seeing for quite some time in the LEGO Star Wars theme. Same old regular buildup. 1 straight arm, 1 curved arm. The straight arm has the accessory of the gun in the gunmetal gray to tell them apart from the regular guns that you get with your clone minifigures, which are in plain black. All the clip piece accessories work so you can move the legs and move the arms and move the head of the battle droid. You get the stud from the back. We've gotten these guys so many times. I'm patiently waiting for them to bring back the super battle droids. I don't know where they've gone. Hopefully one day next year or sometime in the future we see them pop up again. To go along with our final overall model of the ATTE Walker, we also happen to get something to go along with it, that being this dwarf spider droid of all things, which we're also going to see this build, maybe not the same exact build, but something similar included within next year's battle pack. So it is a little disappointing that this probably could have been a crab droid or something, which would better fit what we see on the box art when it comes to Revenge of the Sith. But anyways, this turned out a lot better than the last one that we got. Of course, we don't have any stud guns or anything, which I applaud LEGO on just giving us that fake gun from the front. Get the little eyes with that translucent red, ball in the middle with the 3 musketeer sword, clip piece connections all around. You get 1 at the base of that and 1 in the middle leading down to the 1 on the foot from the very bottom. You also get that trans clear piece in the middle to allow this to stand a lot better. Overall, a very nice design, a lot better than the last one that we got, though is it really necessary to be included in this set? Really feels like something they threw in to just up the piece count for parts that we probably should have seen included in our build. As a fan of the Clone Wars and the prequels in general, I genuinely love when LEGO makes sets based off that era because we don't really see them very often, and this year I'm kind of okay with this model. It isn't the best ATTE that we've gotten. Maybe I just have too much nostalgia over some of the older ones, which I'll be comparing later on in the video. But as far as ATTEs go, I think LEGO did a nice job with this. It certainly has some different aspects that we haven't seen on some of the other models, but it probably won't make my favorites of the year. To start us off, we have the main cockpit of the build, which you can pull out very, very carefully. And we have a seat for a minifigure. You can place one of your clones in here to drive the vehicle. Just remove their accessory. Get some levers, so you can pretend to have them holding onto the levers from inside. And I also like that the chair is actually in that tan color. You'll see some more tan for the seating areas within the build. You can easily slide that right back in to this area. You might also notice that we have these little grooves here that help this stay in place, in addition to this axle piece that runs through that area. You get that dark red color scheme mixing with the light gray, dark gray. I love getting a lot of these translucent pieces for the windows there. Also from the front, we have some small little lights using the translucent pieces, some more of those ball pieces here, those ball cannons, which you can spin round and round. Get them from the top area over here. We also get some more lights from the very bottom here, which you may not notice exactly, these translucent yellows, which are really interesting. I also have to point out the building technique for these lights, using that hinge piece so they are adjustable. We get some more side panels over here, which you can adjust using the different type of clip piece connections in order to take a better look at the interior of the build, which we'll look at in just a second. Get some stickers with some extra detailing, and also your Republic logos, which I really like to see. From the top of the build, we happen to get this cannon, which uses a different type of clip piece connection, so you can adjust this, though it is meant to stay stationary. Though we also get this spinny plate in order to spin it in a 360 direction if you want to, so you can shoot in all directions in this vehicle, which I really appreciate. You get the classic good old stud guns. These are the ones that we've started to get as of last year, where they shoot off from the side. You just gotta press down and they go out into the distance, never to be found again. You also happen to get 2 extras if you misplace any of these. Getting a tiny bit closer, you can see we have one of those common 1x2 cheese slope prints, which we typically see in these LEGO Star Wars sets, and a little tiled off area where you're meant to place your clone gunner in order to actually control the main gun of this build. Now, we also happen to get a sticker here, which is mostly covered up by the seating area, which is totally fine. We see these stickers pretty much all the time on these ATTEs. We get another one from this side over here, and some more stickers on these slope pieces leading from the very back. We got some more cover-up pieces using those different type of clip piece connections in order to get the angling over here, and more Technic connections as well. You get the stickers from the front of these, same sort of detailing that you saw from the other side of the build. And lastly, from the very back, you can see that we get some more of those ball cannons, which are adjustable. And you can see a lot of the different clip connections as we move from the very back in order to round out the vehicle. A returning feature that I just have to talk about is this carrying handle, which you'll see these on most of the ATTE models that LEGO has made in the past. This allows you to actually pick up your ATTE nice and easily, and you can wiggle it around just to show how stable this build is, which I really like. And that's also connected using a lot of different Technic features, which you can also see from the bottom when it comes to the buildup of this. Another big thing about this particular ATTE build is that we get a different buildup for the legs. Now, you may notice that we are using a lot of different pieces here. We also have some gears in order to change things up for this particular build. It's a lot more of a flatter build than we saw in the past. I really like how it's a lot more flat, even though it does make this look a lot smaller than a lot of the ATTEs that we've gotten in the past. One thing for sure, I love the tiling off over here, just the round macaroni tiles, and also placing this 1x3 on top of it, I think that looks really amazing. When it comes to the actual feet build over here, we actually aren't using the piece that we've been using since the first ATTE. We're actually have a brand new build-up using a lot more of these circular plate pieces, and also using these slope pieces in order to actually create the feet, and these actually look a little bit more accurate in my opinion. When it comes to the feet from the front and the back of the build, we get the same exact builds across the board, just reversed. Again, I have to point out the tiling off, which looks really nice, and you get that gear usage, which is really interesting. The feet from the front and back are smaller than the feet that you get in the middle, and is the first time that we actually got the feet smaller in the front and the back, compared to the last few builds that I believe used the same exact piece for all of the feet. And overall, I feel LEGO did a really nice job putting this together. Of course, you get the Technic connection in order to move that back and forth, and you get the pieces at the base of the feet in order to adjust it as you move this vehicle around. Now to finish us off, we're going to take a look at the interior of the build. In order to do that, we can lift this up and move these off to the side so we can take a look at the front interior, where you can see we have two of these tan 1x2s with the two studs in order to sit more minifigures. If you want to put clones in there, put clones in there. Get the clip piece connection with a wrench in that silvery color, which is interesting to see. We also happen to get some more prints in here that we also saw within the 2013 version of the ATTE, two of these communication comms, I believe. These 1x1s, which we've seen quite a few times in LEGO Star Wars. These are nice to get within this particular set on that jumper plate. And we also happen to get this little storage piece over here, which what's inside? Let's find out. There's this binoculars piece in white, which is an interesting color to get it in. I believe we've seen it at least one other time in LEGO Star Wars, and I also like that they include this handle in order to make it easier to place in and out of the vehicle. And lastly, one thing that I did forget to comment on when it comes to that centerpiece is the fact that you can actually remove that also from this build to make it a lot easier to place your clones in there and then place it back inside the build. Before I move on to the other side, some other things that I do have to note are some interesting pieces like these slope pieces right there. Those are really nice to get within that light gray color. And we also happen to get these castle wall pieces, which is really interesting to see in this set, something that I wasn't really expecting to see in this set. And again, you get a lot of different pieces in order to help connect these side panels. You can see the Technic connections and also the different type of clip piece connections in order to give you that angling that you see for this build. And last but not least, we have the back interior, where we can lift up these different type of clip piece connections, and we can also separate these regular clip piece connections from the different type of clip piece connections to lift that up and lift this down, which also serves as a ramp, I believe, or you can actually place it down like that so you can actually still use these ball cannons if you want. I remember seeing some picture where Cody was using this to get off of the vehicle or something. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, but still interesting to see. Looking inside here, we have 5 places to place clones, which again, LEGO, amazing job placing places where you can put clones, and including so many clones in this set in order to actually put in here. It is disappointing that we don't know if there's actually going to be another battle pack type set releasing next year that include more of these to fill up your ATTEs if you get more of them. I guess that's really the only way at the moment. But looking inside here again, I really like all of the different places where you can actually place your clone minifigures. You know, LEGO's doing Star Wars is doing a Marvel here by including a fire extinguisher. That is one of the biggest surprises in here. I guess someone from the Marvel team might have actually snuck that in there somehow. Don't know how, don't know why. We have this silver mug here in case Commander Cody needs a quick drink. We have these clip piece connections over here, where you can actually place some of the guns if you want to place them somewhere. I guess you can also place them on those jumper plates back there if you don't have anything to put on those. And we also happen to get this other little control station, which features a sticker, of all things, maybe to control the back turrets, I'm not sure. But still, it's really nice to see LEGO thinking outside the box when it comes to the interior and including so many different places to put your clone minifigures. Before I say my final thoughts, here are all 3 versions of the ATTE that I own in my collection. We have the one from 2008, 2013, and lastly this year in 2022. I have yet to own the Star Wars Rebels one or the very first one that we ever got. Maybe one day I'll get them, who knows, we'll have to wait and see. I do have a review coming out fairly soon, hopefully before the end of the year, of the 2013 version, which I actually just bought all of the parts to actually bring back to life. Look forward to that sometime. But anyways, looking at all 3 of these together, you can note some major differences, specifically when it comes to the newer one compared to these 2 older ones. You can see a major difference when it comes to the leg connection, how these don't really jut out as much as the ones that we've gotten in the past. Of course, we do have some similarities when it comes to the use of these ball turrets there. We have the flick fire missiles compared to the stud shooters on the newer version. These 2 sets also feature a lot more prints, which I actually really appreciate LEGO going all out back in the day. But the major thing to talk about here is size. And when you look at size, 2008 wins the cake here, where you can just look at how big that thing is and think of how many clones could have fit in here if they actually did a proper interior. It probably comes to no surprise that 2008 is my favorite version of the ATTE. It's the first one that I ever got all the way back in the day. I remember getting it at my first local LEGO store, which wasn't really exactly local. Thank God I actually have one that's actually 5 minutes away from my house now. But as far as the ATTE goes, that is my favorite version, mainly due to nostalgia, and even though I know a lot of people don't really like the Clone Wars style minifigures, I really love getting Anakin and Ahsoka and even Captain Rex within that set. Hopefully one day we see him return in the LEGO Star Wars line, maybe next year, wink wink. But anyways, I think all of these sets had a pretty decent minifigure selection, though I don't really care too much about the holes on the helmet. Commander Cody is a win for me. I also like that we got a lot more clones in this newer set compared to these 2 sets where we really only saw 1 or 2. It's something that I think LEGO is now realizing, that if they make sets based off the Clone Wars, we want to see clones in these sets and not just another Mace Windu, another Yoda, and I would like to see them make new sets with Anakin and even Obi-Wan, giving them that arm printing that we saw on that Mace Windu figure that I'm just so jealous as to why that figure was not in the gunship, which I'll be reviewing sometime down the line. Hopefully we see a gunship to go with this newer set, cause we saw one with both of these. I also hope you enjoyed this quick look at these 3 sets together. Help people decide as to which one of these is their best option, which I think the newest one definitely is, considering these are worth so much on the aftermarket. So overall, for $140, is this set worth it? I mean, we haven't gotten an ATTE in quite some time, so this is definitely the way to go if you want to avoid those aftermarket prices on the older versions. Another thing I'm really pleased about when it comes to this set is the fact that we get so many clone minifigures. I really love that LEGO is finally realizing that we want clone minifigures in clone sets. It is a little disappointing that we only get battle droids to go against them, and the dwarf spider droid is nothing special, but in terms of our minifigure selection, I feel this set is a great value, especially for those who love army building. I do hope that we end up seeing a battle pack sometime in the future, though I do have to, again, complain when it comes to the helmets of these figures and wonder what's going to happen next year and into the future if we continue to see these helmets where the hole is placed in just the weirdest spot. I'm really interested to see what happens when we actually do get a Phase 2 Captain Rex minifigure when it comes to using that rangefinder mold, because I don't really feel like that works with this particular helmet. And lastly, talking about the ATTE itself, I actually think this is a really nice build. Is it the best version that we've ever gotten? No, but I think that LEGO did a really nice job updating it and changing it a lot more, than some of the ones that we've seen in the past. We have a bunch of different building techniques, especially when it comes to the formation of the legs, which I think actually make this a lot sleeker of a model. Though I'm very used to these legs coming out a little bit more than you see here, I think this turned out really nice, and the interior space wasn't really wasted as much as we see in a lot of sets these days, where you get quite a lot of spots to sit clones, which we'll hopefully see more of in the future. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I have to say for this video. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below what your thoughts are on this set. Also remember to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so every time I upload a new video. So yeah, that's it for now, and I will see you next time. Bye!